On February 5, 2004, Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, prepared for what seemed to be a routine weekend trip to her mother's house in New Hampshire. Maura was known by friends and classmates for her intelligence, ambition, and strong work ethic, but behind the polished exterior, she was struggling with significant stress, both academically and personally. In the week leading up to her disappearance, friends and family noticed that Maura had become increasingly withdrawn and anxious. She avoided social interactions, seemed tense, and appeared preoccupied with thoughts that she did not openly share. Her behavior suggested mounting psychological pressure, though no one could predict how it would manifest. That morning, Maura sent a cryptic email to her university, claiming that a family member had passed away. This was false, and the message appeared to be a pretext to excuse her absence from classes. Yet this email, now part of the official record, became one of the first pieces of the puzzle in the story that would capture national attention. Before leaving, Maura carefully packed what she believed she would need for the short trip: clothes, toiletries, medications, and study materials. She also withdrew a substantial sum of money from her bank account. Despite these preparations, she left no note or explanation, leaving friends and family bewildered and anxious. As Maura drove along Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, she lost control of her Honda Accord and collided with a snowbank on the roadside. Witnesses reported the accident, and police soon arrived at the scene. What they found was strange. Her car was parked, the engine running, items inside untouched, yet Maura herself was completely missing. Immediate searches were conducted by local authorities, state police, and trained search dogs. Investigators found a set of footprints leading away from the car toward the east, but the trail abruptly ended. It was as though Maura had simply vanished into thin air. The mysterious circumstances sparked a flurry of theories about what could have happened. Voluntary disappearance. Some believe Maura intentionally left her life behind, overwhelmed by the pressures of school, social expectations, and personal issues. Her careful packing, email to the university, and withdrawal of money suggest that she may have had plans to disappear without being found. Accidental death in the woods. Others argue that Maura, disoriented by the crash and the harsh winter conditions, wandered into the surrounding forest and succumbed to the elements. Freezing temperatures, deep snow, and lack of preparation could have resulted in death, leaving little or no trace. Abduction. Another possibility is that a third party took advantage of her vulnerable state after the accident. The sudden disappearance of the footprints and the lack of evidence could indicate that someone intervened, though no witnesses have ever reported suspicious activity. Suicide or self-harm. A more unsettling theory is that Maura may have intended to end her own life, overwhelmed by psychological stress. Yet those close to her argue that she had a zest for life, and no farewell note was left, reducing the likelihood of suicide. Each theory has strengths and weaknesses, but no conclusive evidence has ever proven any of them. The mystery of Maura Murray's disappearance remains unsolved nearly 2 decades later. The case continues to captivate investigators, journalists, and enthusiasts. Online forums, blogs, podcasts, and social media groups dissect every available detail, from her final emails to her bank withdrawals, from the snow-covered tracks near her car to the timeline of her movements on that fateful day. Each new lead is analyzed for clues, and speculation continues to fuel interest in this enduring mystery. Theory 1: Voluntary disappearance. Choosing to leave. Some believe Maura Murray intentionally disappeared. Her actions before the trip suggest careful planning. Email to the university, claiming a family death, which was false, might have been a cover to leave without explanation. Financial preparation. Withdrawing a significant sum from her bank account indicated she anticipated needing resources. Packing essentials, clothes, toiletries, medications, and study materials suggest she intended to survive for at least a short period. Psychological analysis. Maura was under immense stress. She faced the pressures of academic excellence, social expectations, and personal issues. Choosing to disappear might have been an attempt to gain control over her life, escape from perceived failures, or seek a fresh start. The careful preparations indicate premeditation, but the lack of any note or communication shows the decision was made in secrecy and isolation. Strengths of this theory: explains her sudden disappearance without evidence of foul play. Justifies her actions in the days before the disappearance. Weaknesses: leaving behind personal belongings that might have been necessary for survival. No confirmed sightings or leads to indicate where she went. Theory 2: accidental death in the woods, lost in the cold. Another theory is that after the crash, Maura became disoriented and wandered into the nearby woods. Supporting evidence: snow and freezing temperatures at the time could have caused hypothermia or death within hours. Footprints found by search dogs led east from her car but ended abruptly, possibly indicating she collapsed or lost direction. The forested terrain is dense, making search efforts difficult. Psychological analysis: shock and panic after the crash could have impaired her judgment. The fight or flight response may have led her to run into the woods without a clear plan, increasing the risk of an accident. Strengths: explains the sudden end of the footprints. Fits the conditions of the environment and the timeline. Weaknesses: no body or remains were ever recovered. Survival gear or clothing left behind suggests she may not have intended to die. Theory 3: abduction, taken by another person. Some suggest a third party may have taken advantage of Maura's vulnerability after the accident. Supporting evidence: the abrupt stop of the footprints could indicate someone intervened. No witnesses reported seeing suspicious activity, but remote locations can conceal events. Her car was left operational, potentially signaling an opportunity for someone to approach unnoticed. Psychological analysis: an abductor would likely target someone in a disoriented state. Maura's isolated location and the snow-covered road made her particularly vulnerable. This theory relies on chance and timing rather than premeditation on Maura's part. Strengths: could explain her sudden disappearance without a trace. Introduces external factors, fitting for those skeptical of voluntary disappearance. Weaknesses: no evidence of a suspect or witness. Unlikely that an abductor would go undetected entirely. Theory 4: suicide or self-harm, a dark possibility. A final possibility is that Maura took her own life. Supporting evidence: signs of stress and anxiety leading up to the trip. Secretive behavior and sudden departure. Psychological analysis: extreme stress and perceived isolation can contribute to suicidal ideation. However, those close to her emphasize that Maura enjoyed life, had goals, and left no note, making suicide less likely but not impossible. Strengths: accounts for her sudden disappearance without witnesses. Consistent with signs of psychological strain. Weaknesses: lack of evidence supporting suicidal intent. Her preparations and belongings suggest she expected to survive the trip. Impact and public obsession. Maura Murray's disappearance captivated the public and has remained a subject of fascination for nearly 2 decades. Family impact. Her family has endured years of uncertainty, conducting their own searches and dealing with media attention. Law enforcement. Police investigations have been thorough but inconclusive, leading to ongoing speculation. Media and online communities, forums, podcasts, and blogs continue to dissect every detail, theorizing on every email, bank withdrawal, and footprint. The mystery endures because there is no definitive answer, and the lack of closure leaves room for endless speculation. Maura Murray's final day, minute by minute. The morning of February 5, 2004, began like any other for Maura. She packed her essentials quietly, leaving her dorm room without informing roommates of her full plans. Her calm demeanor suggested to those around her that she was simply taking a weekend trip, but the email sent to her university hinted at a more complex state of mind. Driving north toward New Hampshire, Maura traveled along Route 112, a remote and winding road surrounded by dense forest and snow-covered fields. Witnesses later reported seeing her Honda Accord traveling cautiously, reflecting her careful nature. However, at some point along the route, she lost control and collided with a snowbank. The impact was minor, causing no serious damage to the car or herself, but what happened next is where the mystery begins. Immediate aftermath. Maura exited her vehicle. There were no witnesses nearby, and her car remained partially blocking the road. Footprints. Search dogs later traced footprints leading east from the car. These footprints ended suddenly, as if she disappeared into thin air. Disappearance window. Authorities estimate that Maura was missing within minutes after leaving the vehicle, but no one saw her, and no traffic cameras captured her movements. Psychologists analyzing this sequence suggest that a combination of shock, fear, and cognitive overload may have influenced her decisions. After the minor crash, the sudden realization of being isolated in a remote area could trigger fight or flight instincts, causing her to flee unpredictably. Early search efforts. The local police immediately initiated a search once the accident was reported. Search parties. Multiple teams combed the area, including volunteers and K-9 units. Challenges. The terrain was difficult. Dense forests, snow, and cold weather made tracking nearly impossible. Findings. Aside from the footprints that ended abruptly, no physical evidence was recovered. No personal items, no clothing, no sign of struggle. The abrupt end of the footprints fueled multiple theories. Did she wander off and perish? Was there a third-party abduction? Or did she voluntarily disappear, leaving no trace behind? Public reaction and media coverage. News of Maura's disappearance quickly spread. Local news, small segments covered the accident, the missing student, and the search efforts. National attention, as details emerged, her age, academic success, and mysterious behavior, the story captured national interest. Online communities, internet forums, and true crime blogs began dissecting every known detail. Enthusiasts debated theories, shared sightings, and analyzed timelines, keeping the story alive for decades. Experts highlight that part of the reason the case remains so compelling is the combination of normalcy and mystery. Maura was a typical college student, yet vanished under circumstances that defy easy explanation. Behavioral analysis. Psychologists reviewing Maura's case focus on several key behavioral indicators. Secrecy. She carefully planned her trip without informing those around her, suggesting premeditation. Preparedness. Taking money, medications, and essentials indicates she anticipated a longer absence. Suddenness. Despite preparation, her disappearance occurred abruptly, leaving no clear indication of intent. Stress response. Cognitive overload after the crash may have influenced erratic behavior, making her choices unpredictable. Each of these factors plays into the multiple theories surrounding her disappearance, making it difficult to determine what truly happened in the final minutes. Detailed psychological analysis of each theory. 1. Voluntary disappearance. Maura's meticulous planning before her trip suggests she may have intended to vanish. Behavioral patterns. She withdrew money, packed essentials, and crafted a pretext with her email. Psychological motivations. Stress from academics, social pressures, and personal challenges could have driven her to seek control over her life. Experts suggest she may have been attempting to escape a reality she felt trapped in. Evidence supporting theory. The lack of struggle or external interference at the crash site indicates the disappearance could have been self-initiated. Weak points. Leaving behind critical personal items suggests she may not have fully intended a long-term disappearance. No confirmed sightings or communications post-disappearance. 2. Accidental death in the woods. The harsh winter environment posed serious risks. Environmental factors, freezing temperatures, heavy snow, and dense forests made survival difficult. Behavioral considerations. Panic and disorientation after the crash could have led her into dangerous areas. Cognitive overload in extreme stress situations often causes irrational navigation decisions. Evidence supporting theory. Footprints leading into the woods abruptly ended, which could indicate collapse or death in the forest. Weak points. No remains have been found despite extensive searches, leaving this theory inconclusive. 3. Abduction. Some investigators consider the possibility of a third-party involvement. Environmental vulnerability, remote location, low traffic, and poor visibility increased her susceptibility to opportunistic predators. Behavioral analysis. If abducted, Maura may have been unable to resist due to shock or fear. Evidence supporting theory: sudden disappearance of footprints might indicate an external party removing her from the area. Weak points: no witnesses or forensic evidence suggestive of an abduction have ever been found. 4. Suicide or self-harm. While some theorists suggest Maura may have intended self-harm. Psychological context: extreme stress can contribute to suicidal ideation, but Maura's past behavior shows a strong attachment to life and future goals. Evidence supporting theory: sudden, secretive departure, and signs of stress. Counter evidence: absence of a suicide note and preparatory actions, money withdrawal, packing essentials, contradict intentional self-harm. Post-disappearance investigation. Immediate response. Authorities coordinated searches including local police, state troopers, and K-9 units. Volunteers and family members joined, covering remote roads, forests, and nearby lakes. Challenges: dense forests and harsh winter conditions impeded searches. Lack of eyewitnesses and evidence made it difficult to confirm any theory. Media coverage. Initial coverage was local, but national interest grew as the story's mystery deepened. Online forums and true crime communities fueled speculation for years, analyzing every email, bank withdrawal, and footprint. Family impact. The Murray family endured long periods of uncertainty. They conducted independent searches and worked with media to keep the case visible. Law enforcement perspective. Despite extensive investigations, no theory has been conclusively proven. Authorities continue to receive tips and reports decades later. Timeline recap. Pre-trip week: signs of stress, withdrawal from social life, unusual behaviors. Morning of February 5, 2004, packed essentials, withdrew money, sent false email to university. Crash on Route 112, lost control, hit snowbank, exited vehicle. Footprints and disappearance. Footprints led east, ended abruptly, no subsequent sightings. Search efforts: immediate and ongoing, no confirmed evidence discovered. Public and media: continuous speculation, forums, blogs, and podcasts discuss theories and clues. Detailed timeline and analysis after the crash. Immediate hours after the accident. Once Maura Murray's Honda Accord collided with the snowbank, she exited the vehicle. Witnesses reported seeing the car along the roadside, engine running, and no immediate sign of the driver. Investigators believe she may have walked into the forested area east of the car, as indicated by partial footprints in the snow. Environmental conditions: the temperature was below freezing, and heavy snow covered the ground. Visibility was low, which could have caused disorientation. Psychological state: panic, shock, and stress may have influenced Maura's decisions. Experts suggest that cognitive overload in emergencies can lead to erratic behavior, such as wandering aimlessly into danger. Search and investigation. Authorities organized a multi-agency search, including local police, state troopers, and trained K-9 units. Search area: the immediate roadside, surrounding forests, and nearby streams were combed repeatedly. Findings: footprints led east from the car but abruptly stopped. No personal items, clothing, or signs of struggle were discovered. Challenges: dense forests, deep snow, and low temperatures hindered search effectiveness. Over time, the tracks could have been covered by weather, making evidence nearly impossible to recover. Family members joined the search and conducted their own independent efforts. They explored roads, trails, and wooded areas, often facing harsh winter conditions. Despite their commitment, no concrete evidence of Maura's location was ever found. Witnesses and reports. Over the years, several alleged sightings were reported. Local residents: some reported seeing a young woman matching Maura's description near Route 112 days after the disappearance. Media tips: anonymous tips suggested she had been seen in nearby towns or even out of state, but none were verified. Online investigations: true crime enthusiasts and amateur detectives tracked these reports, often analyzing them for patterns, though none led to definitive conclusions. Analysis of key evidence. Footprints in the snow. led east from the vehicle. Ended abruptly, raising questions about whether she collapsed, was taken, or vanished intentionally. Bank withdrawals. The cash withdrawn prior to departure suggests preparation for a trip. Could indicate intent to leave her life behind or simply cover expected expenses. Email to university. False claim about a family death. Suggests premeditation but also adds to mystery since no family member was actually deceased. Personal belongings. Essentials packed for survival indicate planning. Leaving no farewell note suggests secrecy or impulsivity. Long-term impacts. Family and emotional toll. Maura's disappearance had profound effects on her family. Emotional stress, uncertainty caused prolonged anxiety, depression, and trauma. Active search. The family participated in searches, media interviews, and online advocacy for years. Media relations. They managed public attention while seeking to maintain privacy, a delicate and exhausting balance. Law enforcement challenges. No conclusive evidence. Despite extensive investigation, authorities could not confirm any specific theory. Continued tips. Decades later, the case still generates leads, though most are unverified. Complexity. Multiple plausible theories. Voluntary disappearance, accidental death, abduction, suicide, make resolution difficult. Public and media engagement. National fascination. The case is frequently discussed in podcasts, documentaries, and true crime forums. Speculation. Every minor detail is analyzed, from her final email to footprints in the snow. Psychological engagement. Viewers are drawn to the blend of a relatable young woman and an inexplicable disappearance, a combination that fuels endless discussion. Continuing theories and unresolved questions. Where did Maura go after the accident? Did she survive for hours or days after leaving the car? Was there any third-party involvement? Is it possible she intentionally vanished to start a new life? Every new tip or alleged sighting is analyzed meticulously, yet the mystery remains. Experts agree that Maura's disappearance is a rare case where normal behavioral patterns meet extraordinary circumstances. In-depth analysis of each theory. 1. Voluntary disappearance, running away. Behavioral evidence. Maura's careful preparation, packing essentials, withdrawing money, crafting a false email, points to possible intentional disappearance. Psychological insights. Experts suggest she may have been seeking autonomy or attempting to escape pressures in her life. Her actions indicate someone planning for independence rather than impulsive flight. Counterpoints. Leaving items like personal effects behind might contradict a long-term disappearance. No confirmed post-disappearance sightings further complicate this theory. 2. Accidental death in the woods. Environmental risks. Freezing temperatures, dense forests, and deep snow could easily have resulted in death shortly after the crash. Psychological analysis. Panic and disorientation are common in high-stress emergencies. Maura may have wandered into dangerous terrain, experiencing cognitive overload leading to fatal mistakes. Evidence. The abrupt end of footprints supports this scenario. However, the lack of remains leaves uncertainty. 3. Abduction. Situational factors. Remote, low-traffic roads and a disoriented individual create a high-risk scenario for opportunistic abduction. Behavioral analysis. Maura's isolation after the crash could have made her vulnerable. Abduction may have occurred swiftly, leaving little trace. Challenges. No witnesses or forensic evidence were ever found. The theory relies heavily on speculation. 4. Suicide or self-harm. Behavioral clues. Stress and withdrawal suggest psychological strain, though she showed no prior suicidal tendencies. Psychological considerations. While severe stress can contribute to suicidal ideation, her careful preparation and absence of a note indicate she likely did not intend to end her life. Evidence gap. Lack of direct indicators of self-harm or suicidal intent makes this theory weaker. Cultural impact and true crime fascination. Maura Murray's disappearance has become a cultural phenomenon in true crime circles. American interest. The story resonates strongly with U.S. audiences who follow real-life mysteries. It combines a relatable protagonist with a situation that defies explanation. Online communities, forums, YouTube channels, and podcasts analyze every detail, discussing timelines, behavioral psychology, and potential theories. Educational insight. For psychologists and criminologists, the case serves as a study in decision-making under stress, risk assessment, and missing person investigations. The fascination continues because the disappearance remains unsolved. Viewers engage with the narrative, trying to solve the mystery themselves, which fuels ongoing interest. Key takeaways and open questions. What really happened? Every theory, voluntary disappearance, accidental death, abduction, or suicide, has merits and flaws. Unresolved mysteries. Footprints ended abruptly, no remains were found, and no confirmed sightings occurred. Psychological lessons. Maura's case illustrates the complexity of human behavior under stress, the unpredictability of emergencies, and the challenges of investigating disappearances in remote environments. Societal reflection. The case has influenced true crime storytelling, demonstrating the public's fascination with unsolved mysteries and psychological puzzles. Conclusion. The disappearance of Maura Murray remains one of the most enigmatic and enduring mysteries in modern American history. Despite decades of investigation, public speculation, and online detective work, no definitive answers have emerged. Her story combines ordinary life with extraordinary circumstances, highlighting the fragile line between routine and disaster. It challenges investigators, captivates audiences, and reminds us that sometimes, real-life mysteries defy explanation. As true crime enthusiasts continue to analyze emails, bank records, footprints, and psychological patterns, Maura Murray's case stands as a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human desire to seek truth where certainty does not exist.